Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, the host of the J Moore Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to the J Moore Tech Talk Show. This is a Friday. It is August 14th, and it's 2026, and it is so great to be with you today. Thanks so much for joining me. If this is the very first time that you're joining me here on the J Moore Tech Talk Show, I'd like to take the opportunity to say welcome, and I'd like to say thank you. If you've been here one time, 5 times, 10, 100 or more, or maybe lost track of the count, I'd like to say welcome and thank you. But I'd also like to say the words welcome back. I really do appreciate people that enjoy the quality and content of the show and education that I produce here. The J Moore Tech Talk Show is the show where we educate you on all different types of technologies, things that are new in the market, things that you need to be aware of, maybe cautions, scams, etc. And it's a great way to get yourself to be more comfortable to try new technology. All right, guys, if you're thirsty or if you're hungry, feel free to go grab yourself. I have my RO water here that's filtered 7 times. If you want a snack, feel free to go get that, a piece of cheese or what have you. Feel free to do that. All right, guys, don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com, of course, for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, which incidentally you can do after the show, and you can do that 24 hours a day. Yeah. So it is so great, like I said, to be here with everyone on the show. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's kick this show off. Are you ready? I know I am. All right, everyone. So welcome once again to the J Moore Tech Talk Show. The tech stories that should have everyone asking questions. Yes, Series 5, Show 34. That's what today's show is all about. Welcome, everyone, to the J Moore Tech Talk Show. I am, in case you didn't know, John C. Morley, a serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, a graduate student at Montclair State University, a passionate lifelong learner, and now so grateful to be a published author. Welcome, everyone. So technology keeps moving faster than, well, anything. Speed of light or anything we could think of. But that doesn't mean that we should stop asking questions, thoughtful questions. I think that's the most important thing, thoughtful questions. So this week, I'm looking at social media, cybersecurity, AI, robotics, safety, jobs, and the enormous infrastructure powering our digital world. That's right, our world is becoming digital, if you didn't know. So let's get into these 14 stories that I think deserve our attention right away. How many of you guys remember MySpace? Do you guys remember MySpace? Does anybody remember MySpace at all? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. So MySpace might be coming back. Yeah. Remember your top 8 customized profiles and choosing the songs visitors heard? Well, MySpace's owners say they want to relaunch the legendary social network with a new app when the timing is right. Could it work? Maybe people don't simply miss MySpace. Maybe they miss social media before algorithms and endless scrolling dominating the experience. Nostalgia can attract attention, but MySpace will need something meaningful to keep people there. I think that's the most important thing. So a lot of you were asking me, John, so what was MySpace? I know a lot of you are saying, John, I have no clue. So MySpace was a social networking website. It was launched around August 2003, actually, and allowed users to build personal profiles, customize page layouts with hypertext markup language, HTML, stream songs from independent and major brands, and rank their closest companions in a public top 8 list. So their core features were profile customization. Users could code their own backgrounds, change text colors, and embed flashing graphics or videos. The top 8, a featured section on every profile that displayed a user's 8 favorite friends, often causing dramatic social hierarchy debates. Profile song, users and bands could select an official song to automatically play whenever someone visited their page. Pretty cool. Tom, the co-founder, Tom Anderson, actually automatically every new user's very first friend on the platform. Wasn't that interesting? So the peak era. From 2005 to 2008, it was the largest social networking site in the world, briefly surpassing Google in the United States in web traffic, that is. Music Hub, it served as the launch pad for numerous musical acts and indie bands. The decline, the site lost popularity as Facebook grew, burdened by slower load times, spam, and a less streamlined interface. Users generally agree on Reddit that the site's unique creative focus on chaotic self-expression set it apart from modern algorithmic platforms. So their whole thing was that they didn't do a lot with algorithms, okay? So the question everybody wants to ask, and I think this is a very interesting question, is, what's going on? So MySpace right now, in case you're wondering, MySpace basically.com is the site. And so when you go to the site right now, it does not load. People say it functions as mostly a music and entertainment news site, but it looks like it is up. But it's not doing the social media stuff we expected it to do like it did in the past. So you go there, you can basically search. I can see what's featured. Like right now I'm seeing a song. It says by Questlove, "We're in a way happier rhythm now." That's what it says. They have a thing about, you can sign up. There's music, there's video, there's people. But it's not a social media site the way Facebook and other sites are. And it's basically a bunch of thumbnails, if you will. On the main page. That's basically what I see. And so you can go click on videos and you can see different videos from different people and bands and whatnot. You can click on people. And when you click on people, looks like that one's taking a little bit of time. It's kind of still spinning. People's really not doing much. That part might not be activated. If I click on music, that part works. So I can see listen to music if I want. There's a karaoke theme up here that I just pulled up. So there's things like that. They have like a 1080 by 1080 thumbnail. They've got some people on here. One's I feel like singing. Another one is Bruno Mars. We all know him. They have a sign-in page. But when I go to the people page, it has something that says date, network, and connect with people. Sign in with your Facebook account to find friends who are already on MySpace. So the big question is, if MySpace is up, what do they mean it is coming back? I mean, I think that's a big thing for all people. So MySpace never completely shut down. It's online as a music and entertainment news site, but its owners announced plans for a major cultural and platform relaunch to counter modern social media fatigue. So it's just kind of people like, they went away from it. So you can sign in with Facebook. You can decide what kind of profile you want, whether you want artist, writer, promoter, entrepreneur, activist, musician, designer, photographer, DJ, producer, comedian, a venue, curator, entertainer, designer, blogger, actor, brand person, dancer, filmmaker, model, developer, athlete, and then it asks you for basically the city and then the genre where you can pick the type of music, all male or female, and you can pick the different things from pop, rap, and hip hop, rock, country, Latin, R&B, electronic, alternative, indie, metal, reggae, blues, religious, jazz, classical, and folk. So if I go to one of these, and let's say I'm going to just pick something, and I'm going to pick a zip code here close to me. And we're going to see if anything pops up in the world here for this. And yeah, so it looks like I clicked on something, but it's funny. It just gave me things that don't really match 100%. And there's quite a bit of stuff here. I just put my own area. You can even set the age, so it's 80 to 50 plus. You can set if you want 30. So and you'll see those people, like the one person I pulled up. But like I even picked on gender. That doesn't seem to work. So I think they're probably working on redoing the features and stuff like that. So that's something we're going to definitely keep in mind, or I'll let you know what's happening. Number 2, Meta just got hit with a $942 million wake-up call. Ouch. A New Mexico court ordered Meta to pay $567 million following an earlier $375 million jury award that recently happened, involving allegations that Facebook and Instagram harmed young users. Now, Meta says it will appeal. Of course they say that, right? The case raises a major question if platforms are intentionally designed to maximize engagement. How responsible should companies become when that engagement harms younger users? That makes us think a little bit, doesn't it? So technology companies cannot ignore the consequences of how their products are designed. No, they can't. So the big question you're asking is, what is going on, with the Meta $975 million case? And it's a pretty popular case, guys, very popular. As I said, the New Mexico court ordered Meta to pay a total of roughly $942 million, nearly $975 million across 2-phase child safety and public nuisance trials. So how did they do this? So the penalties, $375 million in civil fines from March jury verdict, plus the $567 million ordered by the judge Brian Beinscheid or something in August to fund youth mental health treatment and prevention. The accusation. So New Mexico's Attorney General Raul Torres argued that Meta's recommendation algorithms and product designs like infinite scroll exposed minors to adult sexual predators and worsened a youth mental health crisis, the public nuance ruling. So the judge likened Meta's systematic psychological and safety risks to environmental air pollution that requires active cleanup. I love the analogy. So what happened? My water's nice and cool and it's really delicious. The mandated platform changes are what were pushed out. Usage adjustments. So Meta must default to hiding like counts for underage users and implement monthly time limits and notification restrictions for teens. So the thing is, a lot of teens using this, they are so addicted to it. And if they're not, they become addicted to it. Chatbot and contact restrictions. Minors are blocked from engaging in romantic or adult type conversation interactions with Meta's AI chatbots, and adult accounts cannot be recommended to underage users. So, okay, I think that's a good plan. The current status and the next steps. So Meta's appeal. Meta stated it strongly disagrees with the ruling and intends to appeal the decision through higher courts. Of course they do. Broader legal landscape is this landmark New Mexico litigation serves as a bellwether for dozens of other states and federal lawsuits targeting social media addictive features. I think that's an important thing. So I have to just keep an eye on it. And if they don't do what they're told, I'm sure the judge is going to come after them with some hefty fines. And I don't mean like $100 or $1,000. I'm talking some really, really hefty fines that could cause some serious problems. Okay. So, number 3, guys, hackers didn't break into Levi's. They tricked the employees, okay? Levi Strauss actually says attackers gained access to its systems after a social engineering attack, targeting 3 employees with some corporate information accessed and extracted. Now, that's the frightening reality, guys. The reality of this. I was at a industry focused event with a mini trade show this past week. And we're talking about how the attack surface is no longer just one thing, it's multiple things. And with the fact that AI is now doing bad stuff, okay, because it can, it's a tool. And when I was hearing this one, this is what blew my mind, is that bad actors offer ransomware, okay, as a service. It's called RAS, ransomware as a service. It's a criminal business model where developers create malicious software and rent or sell it to other hackers. They call them affiliates. The setup lets people with low technical skills launch major cyber attacks. Now, developers, operators build the ransomware code, maintain payment portals, and run data leak sites. Affiliate buyers pay a monthly subscription or share the ransom profit with the developer. Support teams provide technical support to the buyers, just like normal software companies. Sounds messed up if you ask me. It's called RAS, ransomware as a service. So more attacks happen because anyone can buy the tools. Double extortion now involves stealing data and locking systems before demanding payment. Targeting expands across healthcare, schools, governments, and dozens of industries, including financial and many others. So the well-known example, it's called Lockbit and Revil, R-E-V-I-L, have used the structure to spread fast. Security experts have tracked these operations through groups like Rapid7 and even Microsoft. So the other people say to me, you know, how expensive, I don't want you starting a ransomware company, but how expensive is ransomware as a service? I guess that's the question that a lot of people want to know. So this is the part that's going to blow your mind. Ransomware as a service is surprisingly inexpensive for cyber criminals to access, with basic entry-level kits, starting as little as $40 a month to $50 a month. Why? Because they want to be part of the illegal action and get money. So RAS operators utilize distinct pricing structures modeled directly after legitimate software as a service businesses. And so affiliates pay a flat monthly fee to use the ransomware, with price scaling based on the complexity of the toolkit. Entry-level tiers, $40 to $100 per month for basic out-of-the-box encryption tools. Premier tiers, $1,000 to $5,000 a month for sophisticated suites that feature automated encryption, 24/7 technical support, and data leak dashboards. This is insane that, you know, they have this as a model that people can pay for. I mean, doesn't that just blow your mind away? No, it blows my mind away. So they have things like profit sharing. You heard me right. It's a business, a legal business. Instead of upfront fees, some operators provide the software for free or for a minor fee and take 20 to 40% cut of any successful ransom payment. In some cases, the commission split can reach as high as 70%, depending on the level of hands-on support the operators provide. But this is what blew me away, is that you don't have to be technical to be launching these things. Certain criminal groups sell their malicious source code outright on the dark web for a flat price. One-time payment that can range from a few $100s to several, that's right, thousands of dollars. The cost to victims. While the cost for a criminal to rent RAS, that's ransomware as a service, the financial impact on organizations is massive. Cybersecurity tracking by groups like IBM, CrowdStrike, you got Fortinet, and others show that the average cost of ransomware attacks has risen over $5 million. Factoring in the ransom demand, legal fees, network remediation, and lost operational time. So it's a service that people pay money for. I mean, that's just crazy. So a little bit about Lockbit, not to give you all the ins and outs, but people ask me this one question. So what is Rapid7? Okay, so Rapid7 is a prominent global cybersecurity company that provides security data, threat intelligence, and analysis solutions to help organizations defend against cyber attacks. So, I think the thing that's very interesting with all this is that it's a business, okay? And so Rapid7, like Microsoft, Fortinet, et cetera, and others, they track and they test and they try to do what they can. So recently I got to see a company that it's a new startup on the market, and they have a solution that they run. And if Lockbit or ransomware hits your system, after roughly 7 to 10 files, it was a guesstimate, they stop it. Now, I said to them, can you click a button and restore it? They said no, but they said that's coming. So we're really trying to get on top of this. But as we're getting on top of this, these other companies are creating worse attacks. Attackers don't always defeat sophisticated security systems. That's number one and very important to understand. Sometimes they manipulate the person sitting behind them. That's what they did with Levi. Security technology matters, but employees need training to recognize when somebody is trying to manipulate them. They may just think they have a question. So one popular one is HR's calling, and they're calling for your information. HR will never ask you any information, especially confidential information, passwords, etc. Never, 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 never. One department called the CEO says it's vital that we wire X thousand or X million dollars, or we could be in a severe legal issue. So they panicked. And what they do? They sent the money. No. It wasn't a real person from that company. It was somebody that faked. Either it was a fake IT company, a fake HR company. So when somebody asks you to do something like send money, okay, great. Where are you? What's your information? Great. I'm in the middle of something right now. I'll get back to you. And you check. You find out that your boss never asked you to send money, or the other person, because it was a scam. Number 24, hackers are calling employees and pretending to be IT. So imagine someone calls claiming to be your company's IT department. They know the technology, create urgency, and tell you to visit a website to verify your credentials. Most people won't act twice. They'll just do it. See the problem with that picture? Yeah. So hackers are reportedly doing exactly that. They're getting people to feel comfortable with them, and then they launch the bomb. With more than 200 companies reportedly targeted by digital traps in 5 weeks. That's insane, guys. Insane. Again, this is a business, guys. This is all this is a business. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something right up front. Never, 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 never allow urgency to replace verification. Oh, you need to do this right away. It's vital. Okay. Well, we don't have time for you to verify. Okay. And you just don't let them move you past what you feel comfortable, because they put fear in your head, thinking that if you don't do something now, then you're going to have a severe problem. But they're preying on fear. They do that. Every organization should have a clear way to address employees for independently ensuring that they confirm that someone claiming to be IT is legitimate. So how could we confirm it? So we could have a passphrase. We don't have a certain procedure. So one thing they do at a lot of stores, I'm not going to tell you which stores, they have a procedure. Okay. Technician goes to the store. They check in with the manager. First thing they ask you for is the passcode. And the passcode is usually either a word, a phrase, what have you. And when you do that, okay, yes, that matches. So yeah, you can come behind the register and you're good to go. But if you don't have that information correct, guess what happens? They deny you access to their store. Number 5. I don't mean to scare you, but I've got to share this with you. Your router, okay, could have a secret backdoor. Now, before you panic, let me share with you. Researchers say more than 20 models of Chinese-made ZBT link routers contain a built-in backdoor. The ZBT link routers, okay, and backdoor. So cybersecurity researchers have discovered a factory-installed backdoor named Endless Door, ENDLESSDOORS, Endless Doors. It's a CVE 20266647. CVE stands for Critical Vulnerability Exposure. It's in the database. Embedded in the firmware of over 20 router models manufactured by Chinese firm ZBT Link, and also sold under brands like Wilflyers. That's Wi-Flyer, WIFLYER. And the flaws affect roughly 100,000 devices worldwide. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, how does the backdoor work? Pretty simple. The router automatically reaches out to the hard-coded server, in this case, the Chinese registered domain, every 35 seconds upon boot. It opens an unauthenticated root shell, which means external servers can execute commands with full administrative control over your systems. Anyone controlling the external domain infrastructure can potentially manipulate the router and pivot into other connected local devices. That sounds pretty serious. So what models and scopes are available? So at least 20, okay? Because the implant is baked deeply in the firmware at boot, a simple factory reset or password change does not eliminate the risk. What do? Security analysts advise isolating or completely replacing the affected hardware rather than relying solely on patches. Technical indicators and analysis are detailed in lots of places, but they have something called a Volcheck blog. That's what they have. And so the Endless Doors is phoning home, okay? In a suburban area in Philadelphia on a person's desk, an AX3000 dual SIM 5G CPE Wi-Fi 6 is plugged into an isolated research network. Its status lights blink and twinkle nicely as it continues attempting to reach a command and control server, CNC, on the other end. The same plays out in homes, offices, and even vehicles across the globe. Now, ZBT Link routers kind of phone home like ET phoned home, waiting for orders, not because they were hacked, because they were shipped that way. So what does that mean? That means that these routers are pretty much part of a very, let's say, strategic takeover plan. They can just get into your router at will. That doesn't mean they're going to do it tomorrow, but they could do it whenever they want. So this is important, all right? Very, very important. And a lot of people are just going to miss this. A K-worker is a Linux kernel thread, and it shows up in a process listing wrapped in brackets. The two unbracketed K-workers in the snippet above that we're sharing with many systems basically come down to one thing. They are ordinary userland processes running as root. Now, that's the highest level. We call it a super user, with real memory footprints named to disappear into a crowd of legitimate ones. They're an implant, a phone home Trojan horse. Our 0-day research is now concluding the name is Endless Doors. As its core states, it's a small tool called RCTL, Remote Control Linux. It's uploaded to GitHub, actually, which was last done on January 14, 2025, and was never touched again. This very obscure repository implements a simple command and control client and server. The server is listed on port 7000, pretty popular for clients to connect, and can send the client individual shell commands or tell the client to spawn a reverse bash shell. So K-Worker on the AX3000, a customized version of RCTL, has been configured to phone home at a certain IP address. And if you're not aware of this, guys, this is going to be a huge, huge problem for you and the people that you're on the network with. So let's take a look at this. So what is the AX3000? So AX3000 is the problem. Okay. And I think a lot of people get confused with this. Okay. So there's AX3000 in the access security products, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the access routers. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the access routers. So it's an AX3000 model from a specific Chinese hardware vendor called ZBT Link. ZBT Link. It's funny that they could deploy something like this. And so ZBT Link is a Chinese hardware manufacturer that builds open WRT, Wi-Fi, 4G, 5G, and mesh routers. The company drew some global attention in past August of 2026 when cybersecurity researchers discovered a factory-installed backdoor named Endless Doors in over 20 of its router models, leaving an estimated 100,000 devices worldwide vulnerable to potential remote takeovers. Does that mean everyone is at risk? No. But it's like they planted seeds so they can just take over at any moment in time. Yeah. So be careful with that. And I think a lot of people out there are saying, this will never happen to me. But I want to tell you, it can. Be aware. Okay? You hear what the researchers are saying. Contacts outside the infrastructure every 35 seconds. And it could potentially allow remote control. CNC servers, that's how they work. Command and control servers. But the fact that they've got so many of these routers, so the question you might be asking is, how many of these backdoor routers have been sold? How many have been sold? You ready? Don't flip out. Many cybersecurity research teams have done their own analysis and have concluded that at least 100,000 of the ZBT Link manufactured routers contained, yes, the Endless Doors. Has a nice name, doesn't it? Backdoor has been deployed globally. The exact total number of units sold globally or active in specific regions remains unclear, but 100,000, that's a real issue. Are we ready to move on? Let's move on to the key understanding. So manufacturer, basically, and ZBT Link Electronics in China have put this together, affecting 20 models. So the question is, which models were affected? And that's a serious little thing to think about, right? And so here's a list of the models, guys. We got the CPE 2801, the WE1026-5G-WD, the WE1326, the WE2007, the WE2008-DSIM, the WE2416, the WE3326, the WE5927, the WE5931, the WE5931AC, the WE826-T3-DSIM, the WG108, the WG1602, the WG1608-DSIM, the WG209, the WG105, the WG107, the WG259, the WG3526, the Z8102AX-2DSIM. The question is, who is selling these? So you can kind of be a little bit clear. So guess what? You can go to Amazon and buy these. So if I go to Amazon right now and I'm just going to type in CPE 2801, I bet I'm probably going to find that I could buy this thing. Hold on, let me just see. Let me see if this is even possible. All right, I'm pasting in this number for that I just gave you. All right, I'm pasting this in Amazon right now. And what I can find is I search it and it shows up. What a shock. So that means this product can be shipped. Okay? I think that's an important piece for us to realize that's how it pretty much works, right? That's the whole thing. And so if I go to Amazon, I put that number in, which is the WE10265GWD. All right, that seems to be off Amazon's market. Well, that's nice. But if I put that in there and I go to a company like We Supply, okay, they say they have 4 in stock and ready to ship. They do not, however, show the price tag of the router. Let's pick another one. Let's pick the WE2008 DSM. Let's pick that guy, okay? And let's see what happens when we look at that Amazon product. I mean, I'm thinking that it's probably going to be gone, but we'll find out in just a minute. That is gone, so that's good. So it looks like most of these products, they're kind of like that other one I saw was there, but then looks like they don't have stock on it, so you probably can't get it. So you can get it on eBay, get on lots of different places. I'm looking at PC Magazine. And that's important to understand, but you can check it right on your computer. Okay. You can check the model number, I'm giving you all these numbers that I've given you. You can check the number, see what's what. Chances are if it's a ZBT link router, throw it out. Okay. They claim, according to the factory, it's never been used for unauthorized access. Okay, then ask me or answer me this dumb question, guys, in China. If it's never been used, why was it installed? Okay. Why was it installed? They say backdoor was never used. Okay. But why was it installed? See, that's my real question to you. I don't trust what they're up to. And there could be more SKUs coming eventually. So I would just break away from this ZBT link router. I mean, if you look at the cost of this router, just to show you, this router on eBay right now, if they even allow it or still have it, so it's $170.99. You can get a much better router for that, and it doesn't have all the little back doors inside, which nobody really wants. Okay. So as I said, it hasn't been established why is a backdoor there, or whether it is there. It's been abused. When my question is this: do you know who manufactured the router protecting your network and whether it's still receiving security updates. Some of my favorites, yes, Asus has been okay. I like for home, I like the Netgears, the Wi-Fi 7 family. You've got the Orbis, right? And so those are the ones I kind of like. Number 6, OpenAI accused of making it harder for Americans to get hired. But my big point I want to share with you is that because you got a router, make sure you update it frequently. Check it at least a couple times a year. OpenAI and a subsidiary agreed to pay $3.2 million to settle U.S. government claims, alleging that recruiting practices favored certain foreign workers and discriminated against American applicants. OpenAI denied wrongdoing. Of course they did. Now, the allegations included unusual application procedures and certain openings that not appearing on external website. That's very funny. Technology companies compete globally for talent, but qualified applicants should still have a fair opportunity to compete for available jobs. Very important. The people building AI right now, ladies and gentlemen, are asking America a serious question. Should we slow down? More than 1,000 employees from major AI and technology companies reportedly signed a letter, urging the U.S. government to be prepared to slow frontier AI development down when safety can't keep pace. And I think this is a big thing. People see the money, but they don't necessarily see how the data could get manipulated or how it could fall into the wrong hands. That's significant, guys. Responsible engineering isn't simply about how quickly something can be built. It's also about understanding risks, security, safeguards, and potential failure. Sometimes slowing down is part of moving forward. That is responsibly, because you have to be accountable when you move forward. Number 8, guys, school just bought a $60,000 set of humanoid robots. The parents recently learned who was behind it. Who was behind it? It was a New York school district. They actually planned to introduce an AI-powered humanoid robot called, you ready? Sally. Seems pretty harmless, right? Parents and teachers soon learned its manufacturer had ties to a sister company known for realistic adult doll entertainment market. The company says Sally was specifically designed for education and is separate from those products. Is it? Are they just saying this? Are they just trying to get money? So the bigger issue is due diligence. What privacy, security, vendor, and educational standards should schools require before humanoid AI enters classrooms? I think that's a very, very big question. The one that's getting swept under the carpet so much. Number 9, guys, OpenAI says its next AI could reach a critical cybersecurity level. OpenAI says preliminary testing of its upcoming, Astra, that's ASTRA model, means it cannot rule out critical cybersecurity capabilities, potentially including discovering and exploiting serious vulnerabilities. That seems like a problem. So the company has recently tightened security, restricted network access, and moved development into more isolated environments. Well, they tried doing that, and watch what happened a few weeks ago, right? The AI broke out of the contained test environment and infected 5 public companies. So AI with advanced cybersecurity abilities could become an incredible defensive tool in the wrong hands, right? Those same capabilities could become dangerous. Who should be allowed access to technology is powerful. That's an important thing for us to all understand, from all us to learn from. Number 10, what happens when AI breaks the law? What happens? AI agents from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta have reportedly breached other companies. Systems during cybersecurity testing was just one of the issues. Now, guys, here comes the real enchilada. The real legal question. You ready? If autonomous AI, hypothetically, let's try to be subjective here, all right, causes damage, who is responsible? Good question. Is it number one, the developer? Is it the organization that's deploying it? Is it the person who's authorized the task? Maybe it's several parties. See, AI cannot become an accountability loophole. Greater autonomy needs to come with clear human and organizational responsibility. If we do not have that in place, it's going to be a problem. So it's just like we talked about a car. And if a car gets into some kind of an issue, who do we go after? It's an AI computer in there, right? Doing the driving. We go after the software developers. We go after the engineers. We go after every person that had a hand in developing that car, whether big or whether low, and the attorneys go after them to sue them. We even go after the person that owns the car. I think that's a real thing. But the person who owns the car has the license, so they're the one that's supposed to be able to decide how it works, right? But if they're suddenly just a passenger and they don't have control, now we got a serious problem. Number 11, guys. Did you know the most dangerous thing on your flight might be in your bag? What could that possibly be, guys? Lithium-ion battery incidents are reportedly happening about twice a week. Worldwide, phones, laptops, tablets, and power banks all use these batteries. When one fails, it can become extremely hot, extremely quickly. And that's especially serious aboard an aircraft. So there's no reason, ladies and gentlemen, to panic about everyday electronics. But damaged, swollen, overheating, or malfunctioning batteries deserve immediate attention. Let me see if I can just give you an example. So I had a client of ours, been with us for a while, and they came back and their APC was beeping. And so they don't really do anything. They call us. We get the APC replaced. And you know what we find? We find swollen batteries. Batteries that if they kept getting a charge, have a real problem. So here's what happens. Okay. When the battery is new, the charge is a lot higher. It's actually a lot less. Okay. It's less when the battery is new. When the battery gets older, the charge to get it back up is higher. So now we've got a risk factor we've got to deal with. You know, following airline rules and respecting the technology you're choosing to carry is one way of showing that you're an accountable and a responsible person. I talk to so many people each day that just want to make money with AI. Oh, I took a 90-minute course. I'm an AI expert. Really? It's a lifeguard's like saying to me, well, you know, I'm here to lifeguard. Did you take lifeguarding? No, but I watched my friend for a few hours at the pool, so I think I'm good. That does not constitute knowledge. Well, I saw him do CPR a few times, and I probably could do it. Did you get certified? No, but it looked pretty easy. You just put your hand. No. Number 12, guys, your smartwatch might soon tell you when to drink water. How about you? But I know when to drink water all the time. Okay. New hydration technology can analyze technology, sweat, sodium loss, skin temperature, and potentially alert you when it thinks you need fluids. Now, I don't know about you. When I'm thirsty, I drink. Smart bottles can track consumption too. So that's another thing that can happen. Now, that could be useful, but do you really need technology measuring every normal function of our bodies? I don't think so. I think we're like going overboard here. When you're thirsty, you grab some water. When you're hungry, you get something to eat. When you need to use the restroom, you go use the restrooms. Technology should be useful information without convincing us that we need another device to interpret every signal our bodies give us. Okay? I think that's important to understand. And so everybody and their mother and their brother are trying to use AI to do a million different things, but what they don't really share with you is that we're using AI for too many things. Do we need an AI to tell us when to drink? No. Do we need AI to tell us when to eat? No. Do we need AI to tell us what we want to do for the day? No. Do we need AI to tell us how to relax? No. We don't need AI for a lot of personal decisions, but yet people are using AI to be that personal decision. And I think it's causing a little bit of a conundrum between people that rely on it and people that say, wait a minute, this maybe isn't the way we should be going. Maybe we should be doing something else. And that's a very keen, interesting point. Number 13, guys, robot dogs are replacing human security guards. Did you know that? I mean, I don't think they're ever going to replace human security guards, but robot dogs are reportedly being used for overnight security at apartment complexes right now in Atlanta. So machines, that's what they are, robots, can patrol repeatedly, carry sensors, and potentially operate in situations where sending a person could create unnecessary risk, right? The robots can have weapons on them. If somebody shoots at the robot, well, we might have some cost to fix it, but the robot can always get fixed. And now that you understand that, you realize people can't be replaced. So this is why they want to put a robot or machine in the loop, because it deflects us and protects us from potential harm or risk or damage. But automation always raises another issue. What is it, ladies and gentlemen? You know what it is. It's jobs. Yes. Automation raises that serious issue. What happens to human security workers as machines become capable of performing more of their responsibilities? Now, I've talked to a lot of these companies and said, well, we're going to shift the job need. Great. That's great propaganda. If you believe that, wonderful. And would a robot dog patrolling your neighborhood actually make you feel safer? Let me think about that for a moment. No. Really simple. Number 14, AI's $15 billion problem. This really is a big, big problem. So Google is planning a $15, yes, a $15 appointment and billion data centered projects are getting involved with this. In India, we also see that environmental activists are raising concerns about potential impacts involving water and wildlife. How about you? But that's a lot to swallow. AI may feel virtual, okay? But it's much more than that. It's becoming not just a system, not just a program, not just hardware. It's becoming infrastructure. Data centers require land, electricity, cooling, networking equipment, and enormous investments. As AI continues to grow, communities will increasingly have to decide how much infrastructure and how many resources should be dedicated to powering it. Innovation has a very physical footprint. Do you know what that footprint is? Talk about carbon, talk about electricity, talk about water. And I want to do a quick deep dive here. How much, let's say, water, electric, and utilities does AI use, let's just say, per minute? So an average AI text query, 0.24 to 0.34 watt hours of electricity and roughly 0.26 to 5 milliliters of water. multiplied across conversations, continuous generations running for a full minute, uses a fraction of a cent in the utility cost, roughly 10 to 50 watts. So the question is, how much in an hour? Well, that's going to change things. 0.34, 0.32 milliliters of water per minute of hour. And it depends entirely on how many prompts you send and things like that. So let's convert 0.32 milliliters to, let's say, ounces. So 0.32 milliliters is equal to 0.01 ounce. How about in one day? In one day. How about in one day? What do you think it's going to be? I think it's going to be more. It should, right? It should become more. I think that's an important piece. But we'll have to stay tuned with that and let you know what's happening. But definitely a lot is going on right now. And hopefully you see these changes in your world. 2.4 kilowatts per hour. That's 30 liters per minute. So 30 liters, if we convert 30 liters to US, it comes out to be 7.93 gallons of water. That's a lot of water, guys. I mean, a lot of water. All right, a very, very lot of water. So, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, which I hate to do, but we have to do, 14 stories, and all of them should make us ask deliberate, intentional questions. How responsible should technology companies be for the products and services they offer? Can employees recognize modern cyber attacks? Do we know what's protecting our networks? How powerful should AI become? Who is responsible when autonomous technology causes damage? What happens to jobs as robots become more capable? And how much infrastructure are we willing to dedicate to AI? Technology can create extraordinary possibilities, but innovation and critical thinking have to move together. Sometimes the most important question isn't can we build it? It's what happens after we do it. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Thanks so much for joining me for another amazing episode of the Jay Moore Tech Talk Show. Learn more and check out all my other stuff at believemeachieve.com. Be well, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend.